Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Shannon Show. I'm your host, Shannon Hyde, and this is the best military kids podcast on the internet. This is episode 10. I can't believe is something funny. This is the best military kids podcast. This is episode 10. We've been doing this for 10 weeks. I can't believe it's been 10 weeks already. Just a few announcements before we get to our guest. We have a new producer, Big Sexy. Everyone say hello to him. He's my new friend. He's pretty much my only friend on campus. This is a joke. It's just a joke. And we have a merch giveaway because Michaela won Name That Mac last week. So in order to be considered for the merch giveaway, you're going to have to sub to the channel and shout us out on anywhere on social media. And by us, I mean just me and The Shannon Show. You can tag us at The Shannon Show. And make sure to follow us on Instagram. Just a quick shout out to Johnny Hoppy. He was the first guest, episode 1. He's the reason why I did this in the first place. He's going to be heading out to Marine Corps boot camp on Saturday. So best of luck to him. Everyone make sure to wish him good luck. And, I hope you're going to do great. I know you're going to do great. And as soon as you get back, we're going to have you back on the show. And now, cut to the intro. Oh, wait, I don't have an intro. Please, if someone out there wants to make me an intro video, I'd very much appreciate it because I'm not talented enough to do that. And with no further ado, I welcome to the show a longtime friend of mine, Gracie D'Amico. How are you?
I'm great. I'm so honored and blessed to be on the Shannon Show.
Please stop. Well, that's good. I'm happy to have you here too. So honored and blessed as well.
First, before we start, I have a question. Can I just win the merch giveaway because my birthday is this week?
We're recording right now. What do you mean before we start? We've already started. Can you just win the merch giveaway? You tried to get me to buy you merch earlier.
I did.
This was a few months ago. You're like, Shannon, you want to buy me some merch for my birthday? I'm like, it's my merch. You should buy it from me. No, that's not how that works. I'm not that nice of it.
No.
You're mean to me all the time too. So I think we're fine. So I said longtime friend. Let's go there first. We met in sounds so stupid. We met in 4th grade, which is crazy. You're probably a friend I've known the longest. Yeah, definitely. And I don't remember too much about how we first met. All I remember is you told everyone in the grade that I was British.
No.
Yes.
No, we met in reading groups, and then everyone thought you were British. I didn't say it. People told me that, and like in the hallway in the lines, I would be like, "Oh my God, that's a new kid. Like he's British."
New kid. He's British. Was it my accent?
Yeah, we all thought you had a British accent because you talked weirdly. I really thought you were.
I didn't have like a speech impediment. I talked like a normal person. I just didn't have a.
Not a normal person from North Carolina.
Where'd I move there? Virginia. But you lived up where I lived too.
Yeah, I lived in Virginia.
Yeah, how long did you live there?
The first almost 9 years of my life.
9 years in Fredericksburg.
Spotsylvania.
Same difference. Shout out Carl's Ice Cream. Yeah, it's great. And then we were in the same class in 5th grade as well. We had the great teacher, Miss O'Brien, who's now Miss Watts. I say now, like that's a recent thing. She got married.
It happened when we were in 5th grade.
Yeah, I know.
No, the year after, I think.
Like 7 years ago. I was on
her. Do you remember she was in that car accident?
Huh?
In 5th grade when she didn't come into class, and then like we were all waiting for her, and a sub came in and was like, "Oh, she was in a car accident." Do you remember that?
Yeah, but she was fine. It wasn't like serious.
I know, but like it seemed serious to like a 5th grader. I thought it was serious.
There were some weird things that went on at White Oak. Like looking back, I realized how weird that school was. Number one, we were part of the White Oak News team, which is like the most dysfunctional thing, and they would broadcast.
You got us suspended from it.
I did. That was we'll get to that. They had a little snowman decoration, and what's that? I broke the head off of it. I threw it. I straight up threw it. But it was a nightmare, and they would play it to the entire school. I couldn't imagine being an adult in the building and just looking up and seeing these kids just like mess around on the TV. Yes, Just Dance was the worst part. I had that song Gummy Bear stuck in my head.
You were so into Just Dance.
Personally, I mean, I thought it was cool at the time. You did too. Are you kidding me? You definitely did all the Just Dance.
No, I don't like dancing because I was like really shy.
I'm not sure about that. But you were on the news team?
Yeah, it didn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't match up. I think you did the Just Dance. Yeah, they had a Wii that I don't know how they did that. They got the entire school to watch us play Wii. And then in all the classrooms, they would be also doing the Just Dance.
It's like a cult. Like I've been watching a show about cults, and it's definitely like a cult. Like it's weird. I don't like it.
It's like hundreds of kids at once, all
Didn't we have
dancing.
like a
The
White
same
Oak
dance.
song? Did we
White
have a
Oak,
song?
Wildcats. Yeah, we did.
Oh shit. Do you
Yeah.
remember it?
I don't remember the song. I remember the music
We
teacher
are
teaching
the
us how to play.
White Oak Wildcats. That was
Yeah,
our
that's all I remember. That's all I remember.
yeah,
Do you remember
I got it right.
we were like the last grade before they canceled dodgeball, like pretty much everywhere.
I
Do you
loved that.
remember dodgeball was the best
Remember
part of high
President's
school?
Club?
Yes, President's Club. But
Mm-hmm.
I have a great thing about President's Club was this club where I'm not sure if they had it at other schools. I haven't heard about it anywhere
I mean,
else, but
Obama signed our certificate, so
yeah, so you have to test a certain, you have to meet a certain standard in all the physical education tests, like running the mile, push-ups, sit-ups, which is these tests for elementary school kids, which is a little weird, but whatever. And if you get a certain amount, then you get into the President's Club, which is essentially just dodgeball for like 30 minutes after school, every
no, it
like
wasn't
once a
after
week.
school. It was like the last 30 minutes of
Yes, it
school.
would be during school.
Yeah.
So they'd pull us out of class to go play dodgeball for 30 minutes. How did that get how did someone approve that? I don't know
I
how
don't know.
that
We were
happened.
in elementary school. It's not a big deal.
I know, but it's just like it's like kids do not do that anymore.
No.
No, not at all. And it would be all out. I'd go hard. I'm not sure how good I was, but like I'd be
You
hitting kids
did.
in the
And you're
head.
like, and you had those like braided, the braided necklaces
Yeah,
and
you want to talk
the
you want to
wrist
talk about?
ones.
Yeah, sure. We can get into that about my attire that I used to wear for fifth
Like
grade
that
dodgeball.
TikTok I sent you.
Yeah, I would wear some neon. I don't know. I just wanted to stand out a little bit.
You like to match.
Everyone did at the time.
You like the Under Armour shirts
Hmm.
and the Under Armour braided things, like I said, and
Yeah,
the
very
bracelet
nice.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just trying to be like Aaron Keel. Anyways, but the President's Club thing, I remember Carter Batts. I don't know if Carter watches, whatever, but he
Wait, didn't you
could
say
not.
where did he go to school? Where does he go to college? I feel like you told me.
It was somewhere in. It's like High Point University or something. I don't
Okay,
know.
yeah, you did tell me that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, so he didn't meet the presidential fitness standards, and his mom called the school and like asked if he could be in the club anyways, and they're like, yeah, sure, and they just let Carter in, and he was playing dodgeball with us,
He was
which
really bad. I remember everyone used to.
yes,
You remember that?
he's a nice guy. And then somehow, what's weirder, me going to school with him in Okinawa again, or like me going to school with Brooke again? Both were very odd. I remember like texting you about it as soon as
I
I
think
found out.
Brooke, because Brooke wasn't military.
She wasn't.
Mm-mm.
I didn't. Um,
So I think
I
that's weirder.
yeah, that was weird. She was in my seventh grade English class or eighth grade English class, and also our fifth grade class, which two in Virginia and North Carolina, separate states. So that's kind of where Gracie and I got to know each other. So let's talk about what you're doing now. Where are you going to school, and do you like it there? What's your major? Give us the whole like rundown.
Okay, well, I go to UNCW in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Very cool.
Yeah, right by the beach, no big deal. I do love it. I don't have any classes in person, so I just really I like do homework and then whatever I want. It's I don't know.
Yeah,
I wish I had classes like so I could meet people in my classes and not struggle on like quizzes or something. Like I could
yeah.
just text someone, but I don't know anyone in my classes except for like one person. And then yeah, I love it here. Wilmington's really nice, super pretty. There's
What are
always
you
stuff
majoring
to do.
in? Sorry,
Nursing.
nursing.
hmm
What made you want to do that?
I've always been interested in like medicine and stuff, and I like helping people. So
Oh, you're selfless.
no, I'm just kidding.
I'm not sure about that.
I actually want to be
Uh,
like a nurse practitioner, so I have to go like back to school for that.
yeah, it's very cool. Congrats. Corinne's also doing nursing. I know you saw her in a TikTok. That was weird.
Did you
That
watch
was weird.
this?
Corinne, yeah, she watches.
Yeah, no, that was wild. I watched it like 5 times.
Yeah, she put it on her story on Snapchat, and like she didn't even mention me, and then she crossed out your name on the screenshot, and I'm like, what the heck? Like she just like took total credit for like this girl who she didn't even know posted a picture that she didn't
But
even
I
know
also
existed.
don't know her. I only know her from pictures, so it's
Yeah, you
not.
don't know her, but
Yeah.
it was weird that I'm surprised you even recognized her.
Well, I mean, I follow her on Instagram. I've been following her for like years.
Yeah, ever since I'm not sure. I'm not sure when, but probably around whenever I met her. Yeah, so something else about you that's interesting, something else. Let's get to the interesting things about Gracie. God, jeez. You survived a hurricane. Well, more than one, but there's one story in particular that I'd love for you to tell us. I don't remember which hurricane it was, but I remember you
Hurricane
telling me
Florence.
this. Florence? Yes, and this is the hurricane that also tragically wiped out your home, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so start from the beginning, and this is a great story, please.
Okay, so my mom never evacuates for hurricanes. She stayed for like every single one, and we
Yeah,
live literally on an island, like a
yes,
tiny little
Emerald Isle.
island,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a couple miles wide. That's it. And so, oh, I thought I heard my roommates. That was
You're
awkward. But,
good.
so we stayed for the hurricane, and it was supposed to be really, really bad. Like, I think it started as like a four, like a category four or something like that,
Yeah,
like more south. And then, it like slowed down some, got to like a three. And then when it hit us, I believe it was a two. But the only thing that was so bad about Hurricane Florence was that it sat over us for so long and didn't stop raining like for days. I
yeah,
was
I
like,
remember that.
so during the hurricane, my house is like 3 stories because it's on the beach and stuff. Like that's just normal. And we saw like water coming through our top floor ceiling. And so my mom called my dad. My dad was like, well, someone has to go in the attic and put buckets up there, like do something. And
Yeah.
so me being like the smallest one home, my family was like, oh, she can do it. Like, let's send her up there. And
So
in my
they send you up there.
yeah, my attic was literally just there were like two or three like long 2x4s up there, and the rest was just like insulation. And we don't have power. I have like a flashlight in my mouth. My dad on the phone here, like I'm holding onto a pole to walk across, and then like a phone to take pictures for my dad where the water's coming in. And so
You're
I'm
like,
like,
it's everywhere.
it's
Like, what does he want a
everywhere.
picture of?
I sent it where I like put down one bucket. I was on the phone with him and I was like, I hope you know this isn't gonna help. But like with flashlight in my mouth, so I was like, oh no, it won't help like that. And so, but the thing is, like when I was up there, you could see the water coming in on like the support beams, and it went down like every single one. I mean, that part of our ceiling did end up falling in, like it did, but we had put down a plastic tarp on our floor and stuff like that, so it didn't fuck up that floor, which didn't end up mattering because our whole house was ruined.
Yeah.
And so, and then, once it stopped raining some, we like went out and our house, I don't know, I guess it like slopes around our house kind of. It's not noticeable until it rains like that. Because we had like 30 feet on like each side of our driveway, or maybe like 30 and 50 until there was like
Of
water. And
water.
it was like lakes. It looked like lakes. Like we went kayaking through our neighborhood. We could put the paddle down and it'd go to like the top of it.
Do you have some pictures of this?
Probably.
Yeah, I'm gonna just to show everyone. It's just like it's hard to imagine because I've been there and I just cannot imagine you kayaking
Yeah.
down your
But
driveway
I
in the
kayaked in
street.
my whole neighborhood. When there were like dry patches, I'd get out and like drag the kayak and then get back in and just like keep going. And we didn't have power for like we couldn't drive anywhere because the water was so bad. We didn't have power for like a week and a half at least. And
Yeah.
so at one point, like I'd walked a couple miles down the beach, which was covered in like trash and debris and stuff like that, to go to a friend's house to like take a shower. And I think I stayed a night or two, and then I walked home. And
So the beach was like the only way you could get somewhere without
yeah, like I couldn't get
kayaking.
anywhere else without the beach. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point, the who are the people that come in and help with natural disasters?
Just natural disaster relief,
Or,
probably.
or
Or the
it's like
National Guard, military.
National Guard came, and they had like big trucks or whatever that they would bring people down
Yeah.
Coast Guard Road on. And that was about it. We like ran out of food. All of our neighbors were like, "You can go in our houses. Like, we'll tell you where a key is. Like, go get some of our food."
Yeah.
I ate so much beef jerky during Hurricane Florence. I have not eaten it since, and I used to love beef jerky. So
Yeah, so is your home, I know it's been going through construction repairs for
it's been
over a
two
year
years.
now. It's been
Yeah,
two
so it's been
years.
2 years since the hurricane. Like right about
Yeah,
now. What date is it? Oh yeah, it's been over 2 years since the hurricane.
yeah,
And so we we found all the mold and stuff because I got really, really sick after it because I have really bad reactions to mold for some
hmm
reason. I don't really know why. But I got super sick and I was like, Mom, there's definitely mold. Like that's the only thing that makes me feel like this. And so I stayed at my friend's house for like a week while we were packing up to move out and like had it tested and stuff and found all the water in the walls. And so then we moved. We had two neighbors. One of them lived in Greensboro, and she let us rent her house
Yeah.
from like October until May, maybe. Yeah, October until May. And then our other neighbor lived in Ohio, and they let us rent their house from like May until. Do you know when I moved out of that?
So their houses
February.
weren't as badly affected as yours just by
No,
chance?
not at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like their
So,
houses were fine.
mm,
I mean, there were a lot of houses that were totally destroyed where I live, but like my neighbors' houses were all fine,
well,
except for like some water damage.
it's just crazy because like I didn't even remember the name of the hurricane, and there's still people who are feeling the effects of it. So,
I mean, I
that's
only live in one floor of my house.
crazy. Yeah, because
Yeah, because
I
the rest
remember walking
isn't
through
done
it,
yet.
and this was like a
Yeah,
year later, and it looked like it was a brand new house being built. That's what it
that
looked.
yeah, yeah. So it sucks.
So, wow, that's definitely got to go through that. Next, and you were out of school for a while, right?
I was out of
How long were
school
you out of school for?
for 3 or 4 weeks, and
That's
then
crazy.
one school called Swansboro High School, which is like a town 20 minutes away from where we live, is like they were out of school for longer than us.
Yeah, that's usually whenever the hurricane came by, whenever I was there, it was like, hopefully we get the weekend off, like that would be
Yeah,
kind of cool. But
exactly.
then you're out for like a month. It's insane. So next I have is we've been friends for a long time, mainly through text and FaceTime because I've only lived in the same place as you for 3 years, and that was a long time ago. And
Yeah.
I'd visit occasionally. So there's been a lot of messages between us, and I have a little game. You're gonna tell me if you sent this message or not. So either you sent this or I just made it up. You're gonna tell me which one it is.
Okay.
And I just want to give a little bit of like, there's no context to these, so don't make any judgments or anything. But if you want to make a judgment, feel free to do so. Number one, Gracie said, might be Fruit Loops in a butthole or something.
I did say that.
You did say that.
I did say that.
We're not going to explain any further. I don't think we need more explanation on that one. Next, you did say that, which is correct. Next. Number two, Gracie said, I would just like to point out that people have told me recently that I'm pretty hot.
I did say that
She
too.
said that as well. You did say that? Okay.
That was a long time ago.
Next one, you said, want to write my essay, pleases, you love me.
Yeah, I said that.
Yes, you did. Little bit, is that unbelievable? And guess what I did? I didn't write the essay, but I did
Yeah, I
write a
wanted you
poem for
to
you.
write, well, it wasn't an essay, it was a roast.
Well, it was an essay, but then you're like, never mind, I'll write the essay. All you have to do is write a roast for me.
Yeah, that's what happened. And I
Yes.
don't know why you wrote a roast for me, but you did.
And I did it. But this took like hours of convincing. Like you asked me probably like eight
I spent
o'clock, and then by
hours
midnight,
asking you to do that instead of
you
writing my
you
essay.
could have just done it exactly. And you're like FaceTiming me. You're like, please, I have a picture of you like
Was I wearing?
like begging. Yeah, that exact thing. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, and
and
you're
I
just
was
begging.
like,
Yeah. Anyways, and I wrote one. Apparently, it wasn't mean enough, and you had
it
to
wasn't. I
only
changed a
use
lot of
parts
it,
of
but I
it.
used some of it. So
Yes, but I did it. That's what matters, I guess. Next one. Gracie said, "Holy, I am freaking out. A member of the CDC just called me personally and told me I need to isolate myself because they found out my new symptoms of the virus include being hot, having a great personality, and having a big juicy ass."
I sent that too.
Yes.
Are there any of them that I didn't send?
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Okay.
So this was what was up with that? That sounds.
Oh, my sister sent it in my family group chat, and I thought it was funny,
Oh,
so I sent
really?
it to you.
You
Yeah.
sent it to me. Oh, that's good. I was like, I had no reaction to that. I mean, how do I respond to that?
I don't know. I've sent you such weird things
I don't know.
that
I'd probably say that you're definitely asymptomatic then.
yeah, that is something you said.
Number five, you said, but the guy with the big black is funny.
I said that too.
You did say that. So Gracie, throughout quarantine, she had this obsession with the
No,
photo.
this
I'm sure
started
some of you have
before
seen this before.
quarantine.
This was
This
before
started
quarantine
before.
and well into quarantine.
Yeah.
Yes, she had this obsession of this picture of a male sitting on a bed, not wearing anything at all. And she liked to send it to me in not very upfront ways. So, for example, you sent me a news article. This is so ironic now. It said President Trump has coronavirus. And then
Mhm.
you click on it, it's just the picture of this
It's just,
man. And
yeah,
I'll show
like
everyone his
sitting there,
face.
like
Yeah,
new.
exactly. And she just thought it was so funny for some reason. I
I
have
would
no
like
idea.
see myself laughing every time I texted them
Yes,
to you.
and then I'd be like, I'm not stupid. I'm not opening it this time.
And I'd be like, no, dude, shit, like you have to read this article. And you'd
You're
be like,
like,
okay. Like click it.
but then it would start getting local. It's like Mooresville coronavirus cases, and I'm like,
Well, actually, that one said Emerald Isle, but I changed it to say Mooresville.
just so I would open it.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. Next one. This is the last one. You're gonna tell me if you said this or not. You said, really thought feet pics would be the deal breaker.
No, yeah, I said that.
You said that? All
I said
right.
that.
And let's get into the context of that because that is a good story. My senior year English class was very invested in this,
Wish
what do
I
you call it,
had met him.
experiment?
I
Yeah,
would call it an experiment.
it was an experiment, but we were looking for money in the end. Anyways, I'll give you a little bit of backstory. Gracie receives a DM one day from, is
I've
this
been
a
getting
common
so
thing?
many lately, if you want to
Yes.
see again. So
No, I believe you. I'm not interested anymore. That was a one-time thing, which is funny because I'll get like you get like sugar daddy DMs, and I know a lot of guys, including myself, they'll get like bots that are like saying like, look at my pictures, like link in bio, like all that stuff, and it like
yeah.
puts us in big group chats. And it's super weird. But the sugar daddy ones are so much funnier because most of the time these are real people,
Yeah.
like these men, they're just sending mass DMs to girls, which it's not right. They shouldn't be doing it. But Gracie, he sent his phone number and I decided to text him for Gracie, and we learned a lot about each other. He asked me about my hobbies, and I was having to pretend to be
You
you.
were having a good conversation with
It
this guy.
was a deep conversation. Well, I was really concerned because he didn't respond for like days at a time sometime, and then it would be like the weirdest hours. It'd be like 7 a.m. I heard my phone go off, and it's him, and I'm like, yes, yes. Get so excited to get a DM from this random guy, and he would start sending me selfies and I couldn't send any selfies back unless you weren't. I think were you a little more cautious, or were you? I think you're rooting for me to get the
Oh yeah, I
money
didn't even
too.
want to text him off my phone. That's why I wanted you to do it. Do you
Exactly.
remember
Yeah.
that?
Yes. That's why I did it in the first place. Yeah. So the goal was to get money from this guy who said he would pay us for vague things. He wouldn't specify.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see how far he would go. So I sent him these gross feet pictures from Google
Like
Images.
I went on Google and I was like gross like women feet picture.
Yes.
And I just found the nastiest looking feet I could. Yeah.
Disgusting.
And I
And I
cropped
sent
it
them
and
to him.
stuff. Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, that's okay, no problem. I like those or something." And I was like, "Yep, I'm out. That's enough for me. I can't do this anymore."
Dude, all my friends were like, why aren't you posting updates anymore? And I was like, sorry guys, I got too weird.
So our next segment I have is relationship advice with Gracie. Now, the inspiration behind this is Gracie's given me a lot of advice over the years, good and bad, a
No,
mix, a
only
steady.
good. He only thinks it's bad when he does the opposite of what I say or does it the wrong way.
Okay. She's giving me advice from a distance. I disagree with that part, but
I gave
yes,
you
you've given
advice when you were in like seventh grade
yes,
in
you give me
Virginia.
advice with everybody. Like she knows if I ever talk to you for like an hour, then she knows.
Yeah.
Or I'll tell her like a month later and she'll be like super bothered by that.
I'm
But
like, you
anyways, here
suck.
we have two anonymous relationship situations, and I want you, and then I can put in some input as well. I'm no expert. I'll leave most of it to you, but I'll give my input at the end. So here we go. Hey Gracie, I'm in my senior year of high school and am currently planning on attending a nearby community college. It just makes most sense for me financially. A girl that I have had feelings for almost a year now is going to a school out of state. I am almost certain that I am in the friend zone as she often talks about how she misses her ex-boyfriend to me. She has made it clear that she wants to stay friends when she goes to college, but I think it might be best I cut ties so I can get over her. Of course, I also pretend in my head that we could be together romantically in a way, and I could see her every time she comes back to visit during the holidays and summer. I value our friendship, but I think I'll always want something more. Anonymous.
Okay. So On that one, I'm definitely gonna say, like, definitely do what you think is healthier for you.
Well, we give straight advice here. What are you talking about
I
healthier?
always give you straight
Give him
advice.
an answer. Straight advice. Tell him
I
what to do.
wasn't done talking yet.
Okay, you said healthier decision. Come on.
That is, yeah. So if you think it's healthier to not be friends with them, then do that. Do what's best for yourself, especially if they're going to school out of state. But you could always like you don't have to end a friendship. You could just like not talk to them as much, and then when they're home, be like, "Hey, do you want to hang out?" and like be friends. And then maybe it wouldn't be on your mind as much. But if you want to like not be friends with them because you think that's best, and like don't be friends with them when you go like if you do go to a four year university after like a year at community college or 2 years at community college, no matter what, you're gonna find new people. And so like in the long run, it doesn't like it sounds harsh, but it doesn't matter as much.
Yeah, I have to agree for the most part. And trust me, man, I've spent plenty of years of my life in friend zones. I'm no stranger to this situation. I don't have your specific situation, however, but I would say you gotta cut ties. Even if you guys aren't gonna be friends for a little bit, you could try to once you find someone else, you guys can be friends again, and you guys will be on the same page. But look at it this way: as soon as you tell her like, "Hey, like I don't really want to be friends anymore because I have feelings for you," and if she's like, "Yeah, me too," then like perfect, you guys can, well, that's exactly what you want. But chances are that probably won't happen. You have to be prepared for that. So best of luck. And if it doesn't go right, don't blame me or Gracie. But
Yeah.
best of
I
luck.
always I always tell you that. I'm
Yeah,
like,
you always do a
let me
disclaimer.
go, it's not my fault.
You're always like, but IDK
Yeah.
at the end. So whenever it all goes to
And that's
shit,
why you
you're
never
like,
take my advice and you always fuck up.
I next person. It's so nice hearing someone get relationship advice from you besides me. Like it's just being a
You'd
third
be
party in
surprised at
this.
how many people ask me for relationship advice. It's so weird.
That is weird. I don't
I don't
recommend. I
understand.
guess I am recommending you. I'm doing it live on the show. Anyways,
I think
next
it's
one.
good advice sometimes.
Okay, next one. This one's interesting. Gracie, my older brother. This is a dude, by the way. My older brother recently came home from college over the weekend. My girlfriend and him have been best friends well before I ever started dating her. I know it's an unusual dynamic, but I've always felt like I could put my trust in both of them. They hung out one time over the weekend, which isn't unusual, and they grabbed some lunch and had the chance to catch up. An acquaintance of mine told me that they saw them being a little too close, saying that they were like touching one another and he kissed her cheek. They both denied it, and I don't know who to believe. People who claim to love me or a bystander with no stakes in the situation.
That's a harder one.
That is tough. That's very
Especially like
unusual.
since I don't know them. Um, I mean, I think like since they've been best friends for a while, it would be normal for them to like hug or something. Like I've hugged my best friend and I
But
don't
but kissing her on the cheek, that just seems weird.
yeah, but like is he significantly taller than her? Like I'm saying like if you hug and like kind of go like that, which happens sometimes, like it does happen. I could see like from a wrong angle it looking weird.
Yeah.
And was it like one of your good friends that told you that or
I wouldn't say, oh, wait, my good friend or one of his no, he
no,
said
his
he
good
said
friend.
an acquaintance, so not a good friend. That's probably someone he doesn't know very well.
I don't know. I mean, stuff like that isn't always like a reliable like source of information. I would kind of like keep your eye on it more, or
It's just so
definitely like
hard because it's your brother, man.
yeah,
That's
like that's weird. You wouldn't think that either of them would be like, oh yeah, great
I don't
idea.
think either of them would think that's a good idea. No. So
Yeah. So that doesn't really make sense to me. But I mean, weird shit happens, but it doesn't make sense.
yeah, I would say you can don't trust your brother in this. If you feel like you can trust him, then you should be fine. Whatever the girl says in this is kind of irrelevant in this case because it's like she could just be lying and she just wants to get with your brother. She sees nothing weird about that probably. And as far as the acquaintance of yours that saw them, I maybe they want to get in there. I'm just
Yeah, that's
saying.
what I was gonna say.
Maybe they want to make a move and they're trying to push you guys apart. That's gonna wrap up Love Advice with Shannon Gracie. This is not gonna be a reoccurring segment, by the way. I did not
I
enjoy this.
I kind of
You
enjoyed it.
start
So.
your podcast and you let everyone know. Do love advice.
My podcast would be so random, it'd be horrible. I could not have one.
I'd listen. I'd listen.
No, you wouldn't.
I'd probably listen to like an episode and like subscribe. Feel like, hey, look, I subscribed. I wouldn't buy your merch though, just like you won't buy my merch though, so I don't feel bad.
I would give you some of my merch because I'm not an asshole.
I was so close. Wait, did your birthday pass? No, it hasn't.
No,
What's
it's
today?
Sunday.
It's Sunday. Okay, okay. We're good. We're good. We're good. I thought I was a bad friend there for a second. I lost track of the date.
You told me you were
I'll
gonna get me something else for my birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, everyone! Happy birthday to Gracie. There we
Yeah,
go.
thank
Happy
you.
birthday episode. This is my gift to you. You get to be on the Shan Show. You've been begging me to be on the show, by the way. Let's not pretend like.
I think I
Come
did
on.
at the beginning, and then I just didn't talk about it anymore unless I was like, wow, didn't use me again or something like that.
Like every single time you saw a new person, you're like, I see how it is. Okay, well,
Yeah.
we made it happen, and I think I had a great time talking to you doing this. And as always, thank you everyone for watching. This has been the Shannon Show, episode 10. You can listen to us on Apple Podcast, Spotify, wherever you hear a podcast. You can follow Gracie. Gracie, what's your Instagram? Let everyone know.
Gracie.D'Amico, which is spelled Damico.
Gracie.D'Amico. Give her a follow. Let her know. Tell her how much you enjoyed this podcast and her love advice. And maybe you can send her your own issues and then she can answer them for you right
I
there.
would love that. I'm being honest. I'm very
Oh
good
my
at
God.
secrets. I'm so good at secrets, so.
Okay. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.